Status feels powerful because it gives you a fast signal. People notice the car, the house, the watch, or the expensive dinner. For a few minutes, it can feel like proof that you are doing well. But a signal is not the same thing as safety. The problem begins when the outside story becomes more important than the inside numbers. You can look successful and still feel nervous every time a bill arrives. You can get compliments and still have no room to breathe. That is why status can be so quiet and so expensive. A status purchase usually has two prices. The first price is the amount you pay at the start. The second price is the pressure that follows you after the purchase. That second price is the one most people ignore. A bigger house can bring a bigger payment. A nicer car can bring insurance, repairs, and stress. An expensive lifestyle can make normal income feel small. The money did not disappear all at once. It got assigned to impressing people before it got assigned to protecting you. The trap is not that nice things are evil. The trap is buying them before your foundation is ready. When your foundation is weak, every shiny thing becomes another weight. When your foundation is strong, a nice thing is just a choice. So the first question is not, can I afford the payment? The better question is, will this payment take away my choices? Will it make me afraid to change jobs? Will it make one emergency feel like a disaster? Will it make me look rich while feeling trapped? This is where a simple budget becomes powerful. A budget is not a punishment. A budget is a list of jobs for your money. It tells every dollar where to stand before emotion starts giving orders. The first job is basic life. Food, rent, transport, and the things you truly need come first. The second job is protection. Even a small emergency fund can change how money feels. Protection does not look impressive from the outside. Nobody claps when you keep money aside. Nobody sees the bill you avoided or the panic you did not feel. But that quiet space is where freedom starts. Debt needs the same honest treatment. A clear debt plan turns a cloud into a path. You do not need to solve every debt in one heroic move. You need to know which one comes first, which one comes next, and what you will repeat. Status wants speed. It wants the upgrade now. It wants the photo now. It wants the feeling now. A real money system moves slower, but it gives you back control. Control is not always exciting. It can look like saying no to one purchase. It can look like keeping the same car a little longer. It can look like letting other people wonder why you are not trying to impress them. That part is emotional. Most people do not overspend because they cannot count. They overspend because they want to feel seen, safe, respected, or ahead. Money behavior usually has a feeling underneath it. If you understand the feeling, you can make a better choice. You can say, I want respect, but I do not need to buy pressure to get it. You can say, I want comfort, but I do not need a payment that steals my peace. You can say, I want progress, so I will build it where nobody can take it away. The strongest money move may be invisible for a while. Paying down debt is invisible. Saving a small emergency fund is invisible. Learning to wait is invisible. But invisible progress becomes visible peace. A calm financial life is not built by one perfect decision. It is built by repeating a few plain decisions. Spend less than you earn. Keep protection before performance. Make debt smaller instead of making your appearance bigger. The next time status asks for your money, pause before you answer. Ask what the purchase will cost after the moment is over. Ask what choice you may lose because of it. Ask whether future you will feel lighter or heavier. If the answer is heavier, you do not need shame. You need a new order. Needs first, protection second. Debt plan third, status only after the foundation can carry it. That order changes the feeling of money. Income stops feeling like water running through your hands. Bills stop feeling like surprises. Choices start coming back one by one. The goal is not to live small forever. The goal is to stop using big purchases to cover small foundations. build the foundation first. Then every future upgrade has less fear attached to it. There is also a timing problem. The same purchase can be harmless later and dangerous today. A good decision at the wrong time can still create pressure. That is why timing matters as much as taste. Before an upgrade, check your margin. Margin is the space between what comes in and what must go out. If the margin is thin, one new payment can make life feel tight. If the margin is strong, you have room to choose. A person can earn more and still feel broke when every raise gets spent before it settles. This is lifestyle creep. It does not arrive as one big mistake. It arrives as a series of small upgrades that feel reasonable alone. The way out is not to hate comfort. The way out is to give comfort a place in the order. First comes stability, then comes optional comfort. Then comes status if you still want it. One useful rule is to delay the public upgrade. When income rises, let your protection rise first. Let debt fall first. Let your savings breathe first, and decide if the upgrade still feels worth it. This delay builds confidence. You stop needing every good month to become a bigger lifestyle. You learn that money can stay with you. That feeling is quiet, but it is powerful. Status also loses power when you know your real numbers. A clear number removes the fantasy. You can see what a purchase does to your month. You can see what it does to your safety. You can see what it does to your future choices. This does not mean you never buy nice things. It means nice things should not own your calendar. They should not decide where you work. They should not make you afraid of a small emergency. They should not turn income into pressure. The stronger path is boring at first. Pay the real bills. Protect a small amount. Attack one debt. Keep a little margin. Repeat it until calm becomes normal. Then status becomes smaller. Not because the world stopped showing off, because your life no longer needs applause to feel stable. That is when money starts serving you instead of performing for others. Here's a simple example. Imagine a raise comes in and the first thought is an upgrade. The old habit asks what will look better. The new habit asks what will make life safer. That one question changes the month. Maybe part of the raise goes to the emergency fund. Maybe part of it goes to a debt payment. Maybe part of it stays as breathing room. Nothing dramatic happens outside, but pressure drops inside. This is why rich-looking choices can be weaker than calm choices. A rich-looking choice needs people to see it. A calm choice keeps working when nobody is watching. It helps you sleep, wait, say no, and recover. The hard part is that calm does not give an instant reward. Status gives the reward first and the pressure later. Discipline gives the boredom first and the relief later. Most people choose based on which feeling arrives first. To escape the trap, you have to look past the first feeling. Ask what this choice feels like next week. Ask what it feels like after 3 months. Ask what it feels like if income gets interrupted. That is where the truth usually appears. There is no shame in wanting nice things. The desire is normal. The danger is letting the desire choose the order. When desire chooses first, protection gets whatever is left. When wisdom chooses first, desire has to wait its turn. Waiting is not the same as losing. Waiting can be how you buy without fear later. Waiting can turn a payment from a trap into a choice. Waiting can protect the version of you who has to live with the bill. A simple rule can help. If a purchase makes your emergency fund weaker, pause. If a purchase makes debt last longer, pause. If a purchase makes you need a perfect month, pause. A real upgrade should not make your life fragile. This rule is not about being cheap. It is about being honest. Honesty says the monthly payment is not the full story. Honesty says admiration does not pay the bill. Honesty says peace is worth protecting. Over time, the outside pressure gets quieter. You still see what other people buy, you still notice what they show, but you stop treating their choices like instructions for your life. That is a real form of freedom. Not the freedom to buy anything without thinking, the freedom to choose without needing applause, the freedom to say no without feeling behind, the freedom to move slowly and still feel proud. The status trap loses power when you respect quiet progress. A paid bill is progress. A smaller balance is progress. A little cash kept aside is progress. A purchase delayed on purpose is progress. None of that needs to look impressive today, only needs to make tomorrow easier, then the next tomorrow easier, then the next one easier again. That is how a normal income starts building strength. When you build strength first, status becomes optional. You can enjoy something nice without needing it to prove your worth. You can upgrade without making your whole life depend on the upgrade. You can let money create peace before it creates attention. That is the real turn. You stop asking how to look like you are winning. You start asking how to live with fewer financial chains. One question feeds pressure. The other question builds freedom. You can practice this with one small purchase. Before buying, give yourself a full day to think. If the desire gets weaker, it was probably pressure. If the desire stays and the numbers still work, you can choose with a clearer mind. You can also practice it with one bigger payment. Write down the payment, insurance, repairs, fees, and the time it will stay with you. Then compare that total to the calm you want. A clear total makes the decision more honest. The goal is not to remove emotion from money. Emotion is part of being human. The goal is to stop emotion from driving alone. Let emotion speak, but let the numbers hold the wheel. When the numbers are clear, you do not need to argue with every temptation. The plan has already answered many questions. That saves energy. It also makes money feel less like a constant fight. People may still misunderstand your choices. They may think you could afford more. They may wonder why you keep things simple, but they do not carry your stress. They do not pay your future bills. This is why quiet confidence matters. Quiet confidence does not need to announce itself. It knows the emergency fund is growing. It knows the debt is shrinking. It knows the foundation is getting stronger. At some point, the question changes. You no longer ask whether people can see your success. You ask whether your life is becoming easier to live. That question is less flashy, but it is much more useful. And when money becomes easier to live with, you gain choices. You can choose patience. You can choose a better opportunity. You can choose rest. You can choose a purchase because it fits, not because it proves something. That is what status can never give by itself. Status can create attention. It can create a moment, but it cannot create a stable life without a strong foundation underneath it. So when you think about the status trap that quietly keeps you broke, do not look for a dramatic answer first. Look for the next clear choice. Look for the small system you can repeat. Look for the habit that gives your future more room. You do not need a life that only looks impressive. You need a life that feels calmer to live.